also known as Sonally. I know in the Sonic comics and TV shows.
Hell no, to the no, 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 hell to the no.
Sally Acorn fans and Sonally shippers, you want me to tell you something that you probably already know? Since the day you came into existence, the franchise has been slowly trying to kill you off. I mean, let's do the math here. Between your pairing and the saga that it rooted from, no one has ever gotten the piss beaten out of it more than you. Your TV series, Sonic the Hedgehog, or otherwise known as Sonic Saturn, was cancelled after 2 seasons. Then a couple years down the road in 1999, you were made to believe that you would finally have the chance to get the long-awaited Season 3. But that was not meant to be. Instead, you were scrapped altogether for a poor excuse to earn music royalties from called Sonic Underground, which also went on to be cancelled. Alrighty then! You never got another TV show ever again, and every video game opportunity that you had, it was scrapped because someone up in the corporate office wanted to give you the finger. Oh, no, wait. You did have Sonic Spinball, where you made cameos, which was complete garbage. But luckily, someone was looking out for you enough to give you your own comic book, the Sonic the Hedgehog Archie series. And it wasn't perfect. No, it definitely was not perfect. But at least it gave you the opportunity to continue the storyline long after the TV series had been cancelled. But, like everything else you got, something else had to go wrong. These mythical little creatures that you would only think would exist in legend, called Son Amy Brats, love the pairing of Amy Rose and Sonic the Hedgehog. And they have built up a pretty nice reputation of taking it way too far. Nevertheless, they probably have to be the most spoiled pairing in the franchise. Mainly Amy Rose, because ever since her redesign, she has had the opportunity to appear in every single Sonic media, video games, TV shows, etc. But despite having all that, it was never enough, because the franchise has always denied them that one thing that you Sonally supporters have. This pairing has never had a big moment that made it clear that these two are an official couple. The only thing this pairing has ever really gotten, if any, were tiny hints. So in a desperate search to find anything they could to state that Son Amy was official, they eventually came across the Archie comics, and what they saw made their skin crawl. They discovered this unknown creature who wasn't Amy hugged up under Sonic, and they just were not having that. So they began picking apart and slandering the character of Sally Acorn with things that are not remotely true. And I'll get back to those things in just a little bit. But between all of that happening, the couple pairings began to spiral out of control. While Ian Flynn tried to keep Sonic and Sally together, other writers came along and were constantly pulling them away from each other, such as Carl Bollers and Ken Penders. Ken Penders, you remember him, right? He's the same man who once upon a time tried to kill Sally Acorn by having her fall to her death. Anyway, enough of this mess. I think you get the point already. You know, generally in the past, when something was bothering me, I learned to rant about it. And whenever I ranted about it, I felt better afterwards and never had to speak on the subject again. But when it comes to the topic of Sonally versus Son Amy and whatnot, I just cannot seem to find any peace on this topic. Because you see, what happens is, whenever I do finish a video on this subject, eventually down the road I see something else that pisses me off, that makes me want to fire up the video again. Which is kind of funny because I've spoken about this so much now that I'm actually a lot more superior at the subject than I was almost 2 years ago when I did Sally Acorn's profile video. But, Jawbreaker, what exactly is it that is bothering you this time? Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to the YouTuber JawsSoniclover. A YouTuber that represents everything that is fucked up about the pairing Son Amy. Blind hatred, ignorance, hard-headed. This girl absolutely hates it for you to challenge her opinions on the subject of Sally Acorn and Son Amy. Besides her Sonic Couple's opinion video that she did in February 2014, later in that year in November, she would go on to make another video called Top 5 Hated Sonic Characters.
I bet you guys maybe $100 that you don't know any princesses that don't wear clothes.
Princess Bala from Ants and Princess Dot from A Bug's Life. You now owe me $200. And before you say they don't count, yes they do. Because they're anthropomorphic. Just like Sally Acorn. Who, may I remind you, is a chipmunk. Oh my gosh, darling, just look at that like to dislike ratio on the video. And apparently because the video was not going the way she wanted it to, she also disabled the comments. You see, the one thing that's agitating me about this user is that it's okay to have your opinion. It's another thing to treat your opinion like it's fact, and then turn around and alienate everyone who doesn't agree with you. So if you don't want to listen to the comments, maybe you'll listen when I critique your Sonic couple's opinion video on video. Isn't that fun?
But my thoughts on Sonic and Sally is a massive below perfect couple. To be honest, Sally is my most hated character ever to be on the Sonic series.
And almost from the get-go, you can already tell that this one's gonna be good, and you wouldn't believe the first major reason that she gives for why she doesn't like Sally Acorn.
Sally slapped Sonic and said, "I should have known you'd be selfish." What I read about the issue was Sally wanted Sonic to rule with her, but Sonic couldn't, with all the saving he is doing so far.
Oh look, it's the infamous slap again. The one argument that Sonamy fans love to milk to death. Which is never a good argument as they think it is, and whenever they do choose to use it, they don't fully understand what the hell happened before the slap. All they seem to think about in this particular moment is, Sally hit Sonic because Sonic wouldn't spend time with her, and you know that is complete bullshit. Even for a storyline that has dragged Sally Acorn way out of character. So let me put the final nail in the coffin of this argument once and for all, because I am so tired of folks kicking a dead horse down the street. You see, in order to understand 134, you need to actually go back to 125. This is the period where the planet was facing a major alien invasion. And as always, the hero Sonic willingly volunteers to jump to the front lines. Later on towards the end of the issue, the planet was facing major threat from a weapon called the Quantum Dial. A weapon that is used to destroy planets. Sonic was preparing to do the one thing that he could do to save the planet. He was about to sacrifice himself. And so he did, as he raced off and was caught in the explosion. As of issue 125, Sonic was deceased. Or so people thought he was. Sonic managed to survive when he was blown off the planet and was out in space for a number of issues. In the comic storyline, Sonic was out of the picture for an entire year before he returned to Mobus. And to give the quick summary of everything that has happened, everything has gone to shit. It's a complete train wreck. The planet was at war, the freedom fighters were falling apart, aka Bunny and Antoine break up, because suddenly Antoine grew asshole syndrome. Spoiler alert, by the way, that's not Antoine, that's evil Antoine, Patch. And because of the war, Sally has become a prisoner in her own home. While Sonic is on the front lines getting his ass decimated by M, Sally is getting a reminder of how fragile Sonic's life is, as she is forced to watch from a monitor unable to help him. Though Sonic and the others do manage to overcome M in the end, this fight did not come without a price when Sonic's shoulder is badly injured. Jumping into issue 134, King Acorn, Sally Acorn's father, makes an announcement that him and Alicia Acorn are going on an extended tour. And in their absence, Sally Acorn was going to be acting ruler. Oh look, there's Amy Rose, and she seems to like the idea of Sally being in charge. What's your excuse, you massive hypocrite? Sally eventually takes the opportunity to make an announcement herself, and requests that Sonic rule by her side. And she can do this because Sonic is her consort. What's a consort, you ask? Consort. A wife, husband, or companion, in particular, the spouse of a reigning monarch. Consort. That last bit applies to Sonic. For those of us who paid attention to this story, even though Sally says it's going to be a lot of work running the kingdom and that's why she's asking for Sonic's help, the real reason is not because she wants Sonic all to herself, the real reason is she's trying to protect the love of her life from doing something stupid. Also, remember when I pointed out that Sonic got his shoulder injured? That's the result of it. He's wearing a cast. I'll say this much about Sonic. He has the heart of a lion. But there are points where he can be a reckless imbecile. The man is freaking handicapped. Where does he think he's running off to besides his demise? Not ready to lose him again just yet, Sally pleads with the man to reconsider. But old Sonic the Glory Hog couldn't resist, and that's when Sally finally had enough. And smacked the chili dog flavor right out of his mouth. Yeah, Sally shouldn't have hit him, but this slap was more justified than any of the shit Amy Rose has ever done to Sonic, in which always goes unpunished because Sally is not Amy. When Sonic said he couldn't, he simultaneously broke his commitments to Sally, he embarrassed her in front of the whole kingdom, but most importantly, he embarrassed her in front of her father. A guy Sonic really needed to score points with because he never wanted Sally to be with Sonic in the first place. Ladies and gentlemen, that's your slap. How dare she give a fuck about whether Sonic lives or dies? She is the worst character ever. Amy Rose would never do something like that.
In the issue, I can't really remember, Sally and Kim seem to have their moments under a moon, have a small little sweet talk, then BAM! A deeply kiss on the lips. I swear, if something like that happened to me, I would dump the person on the spot.
Well, at this point, it just kind of sounds like she's nitpicking at everything Sally is doing, in areas where she has very little information on because she can't even remember the issue. Now, me personally, I haven't read the issue myself, but what I do know about that scene is Sonic and Sally were already broken up by the time Sally got with Monkey Kong. Besides, if I want the quick summary, all I gotta do is this little thing that scientists are now calling research. When Khan arrived in New Mobitropolis 2 years later, Sonic had mentioned that he and Sally were no longer together. So you can't dump somebody if you're already broken up. Besides, no one cares about this Son Goku Journey to the West knockoff. And once more, she turned down Monkey Kong's offer to be his queen because she only had eyes for Sonic. Also, keep this in mind. I guarantee you, if Sally took his offer, folks would be calling her a gold digger next.
Sally seems to put herself at risk almost every time. I don't think I've ever seen an issue with Sally actually kicking butt and stuff.
Oh no, it's perfectly understandable because it was apparent from the beginning that you didn't know much of anything before you made the video. Because if you had actually dug deeper, you could have easily found this. Oh, that was a good one. Oh, and let's not forget to mention this. So sorry, miss. This princess actually does fight back. 2 points off Gryffindor.
I think throughout every Sonic issue, Sally has always been turned into a robot. In every single time she gets kidnapped.
You want to talk about Sonic females getting kidnapped? Let's talk about Sonic females getting kidnapped. First of all, if you're a fan of Amy Rose and Son Amy, ain't nobody trying to hear that mess. Because you lost your privilege to talk. May I remind you that that's the same dumb broad that got kidnapped by Metal Sonic chasing after Sonic. And once more, the same dumb broad who got snatched up in Sonic DX.
Help! Sonic!
And afterwards, what did she do to escape? What did she do? Nothing! Not planning on her escape, she was literally going to sit in that cage and wait until Sonic came to rescue her. Seriously, you are running out of things to amuse me with.
Third reason, she's naked.
Nope, that's it. I'm so fucking done. I can't take it no more. That's it. I quit. Fuck this shit. The main hero has literally gone his entire career with no clothes. Am I missing something here? And regardless of that fact, he has no visible genitals showing. And neither did Sally. Notice I said did. This video was made in 2014. I'm very sure Sally got her redesign in 2012. She had clothes by the time that video was created. I guess her new clothes ain't good enough if you still got a rag on her old design. Whoo! I gotta say, JawsSoniclover, you have made some really good points. To the point, I gotta tell you, it's time to stop.
Son Amy. Sonic X Amy.
I don't like where this is going.
She is a strong, loyal, and kind girl. A hedgehog and a chipmunk don't seem to be a perfect match. I think it's clear that Sonic does have feelings for Amy.
I gotta be honest with you here, Jaws. I can sit right here and crush your whole video. I mean, literally disintegrate it into dust. Basically, throughout the entire video, you have given no factual information for why Sally is a bad character. I mean, everything that you have given is the exact same Son Amy slander used to hurt a character that is generally badass. What I'm really waiting for is for somebody in your pairing to actually step forward and be honest. You don't like Sally Acorn because she has the relationship with Sonic that Amy can only dream of. She's had the kisses, she's had the ups and downs, she's had the marriage, and even had the children. And it burns you up inside. A chipmunk and a hedgehog can make a good pairing, but because they're both hedgehogs that automatically means something, it's time to stop the nonsense. You support a pairing that was never even really meant to be taken seriously in the first place. Amy and Sonic are comedy relief, but no matter how much Sega makes it clear to you, even when Sonic puts his hand in Amy's face, you don't seem to absorb it. As I said before, go ahead and like Amy Rose. Go ahead and like Son Amy. But stop being a goddamn brat because you can't have everything you want. Anyway, this has been Gone with the Fur Theater. As always, please subscribe for future videos. And as for you, JawsSoniclover, you can get the hell off my stage.